Jennifer Womble from FETC and District Administration Magazine.
Yeah, and I'm Steve Bevilacqua from FETC and District Administration on the partnership side. So we host a variety of professional development opportunities for more senior strategists in the space, right? So on the district administration side, folks know us as DALI, the DA Leadership Institute. We host 7 national superintendent summits across the country each year. And we've just launched, we started it pre-COVID, and now we're back with the Technology Leadership Summit for high-level CIOs, CTOs, IT directors, and it's really bringing together people who are passionate about professional learning, again, cabinet-level administrators.
Absolutely. Do you want me to, I'll say for FETC, what's really exciting is we are doing a webinar series year-round, so every month we're taking the hottest topics in EdTech and the most interesting speakers that are doing the hottest things and putting them together and sharing them with our audience. So throughout the year, we're staying connected with everyone. We also have an FETC newsletter that goes out every Wednesday featuring the hottest things that are happening. Right now, what's super interesting is that the interest is growing and growing. As we get closer to FETC, since now everyone is a tech user in the post-COVID world, we have not just our principals and CIOs and CTOs, but everyone in education is now a tech user. So as interest grows, we have to grow our reach as well in providing accurate information. People are becoming more media literacy, and so they're looking for what's good professional development, what's high quality, and that's what we're providing to them.
Sure. So from the attendee side, really it's an opportunity to do really 2 primary things. One, brainstorm, problem solve, and collaborate with your peers from across the country on current challenges you're facing, of which there's no shortage. And then 2, to hear from a very limited number of top leading solutions providers, our partners, about what's possible for helping you raise your game in your district. So we always encourage them, take the time. It's a safe space. You're not putting out fires in your district at that moment. Really take an opportunity to learn from our partners about how they can just help you in your districts do things better, more efficiently, more effectively. Sure, yeah. So the Technology Leadership Academy has really grown in urgency, especially with the sort of the future of IT and the IT position. And it's no longer setting up passwords, right? Yeah. You're on the front lines of cybersecurity and all these other hot areas. And so to your point, Maggie, really we want our partners to be able to really showcase their solutions and really show attendees, what they can be doing to help them in their districts, but then to have an opportunity to learn about their needs in their districts repeatedly, right? And so we do 8 classes. We call it a cohort with a single group that really gets tight over those 8 classes, and that's led by Lenny Shad, the former CIO for Houston, Texas ISD, who is our CIO in residence.
And I'm going to add a little bit to that. Please. Is that as we see retention being a huge issue in education and lots of turnover, what we're seeing and hearing a lot from districts is they need to talk to each other. Yes. They need collaboration. They need to make connections. And so these opportunities are a chance for them to talk to veterans, talk to the newbies are talking to the veterans, hearing about the best solutions to all these challenges happening. And that is really the magic of what's happening and the influence and impact in the districts is learning from each other. Absolutely, absolutely. So one thing I want to say is our approach to it is being very strategic. Is we're looking right now, so as AI is in a huge boom and there's lots of questions around policy and implications that could be from that, we're taking a super strategic look at how do we prepare people before the conference. So we want to help people design what lessons their sessions are going to go to, design how they're going to approach the expo floor, design who they need to be talking to ahead of time. So being really intentional about getting there. Then once people are there, they're going to see, of course, an amazing expo hall with lots of opportunities for solutions. So we want people to be prepared for what they're looking for. We also want them to get information and content in the sessions and then be able to follow through and go to those solution providers on the floor so that they can actually implement it in their districts. So there's kind of a lot of exciting building. So there's some cool things we're doing, like we're going to offer lunch on the expo floor this year. So we want everybody to come down. We want people to connect. We want them to collaborate. We want them to be sharing meals together. A lot of times people will say at a conference, the most important things happen in the hallways. Like those conversations, the connections you make, that networking. So we're going to provide opportunities for that. We're going to have morning coffee all together. We're going to, offer some things where attendees get more of the connection. We've been asked over and over for some more small, intimate conversations. So we've created spaces where there's leadership roundtables so that people can dig deep into solutions and have these really close-knit conversations about solutions that work in an environment that's a lot of fun, but they're trusting the people that they're talking to. So it's going to be very exciting. We're back in Orlando, which is our favorite place to be. You know, after 44 years, you start to kind of modify the event so that it reaches and impacts people the most. So our mission is that people come, that they learn, they're inspired, but then they go back to their districts and implement the future. So that's what we really, really want. Absolutely. So going to a conference can be completely overwhelming. So the number one answer for us is you need to bring a team, because you're going to be looking for products that meet the needs of all students in every classroom. So you need to have classroom teachers there because they know what needs they're trying to meet. You need to have your CIO or CTO or an IT staff there because they know what protocols work and what products they're looking for. We need the leadership there to understand the field of technology and what's coming ahead, so they're making strategic decisions that are going to really work in their area. So we have 7 tracks. So they start at the district administration level. Okay, then we have campus leaders. So what we've seen is a huge influx in principals coming to FETC because they now have their own pockets of money to spend and they have very specific needs in each different school. So we designed a track just for them. And then we also have library media specialists. And then we have our assistive technology and special ed, as well as our coaches. So we want to make sure that coaches are really well trained so that when they go into their school districts, they're training people how to implement the technology that we've sourced so carefully with the students the best way they can. So there's 7 different tracks, and you can pick from anything you want to go to, but we're trying to help attendees find what matches their needs.
No, absolutely, and there's so many synergies between, with district administration and FETC, and we do create what we call a VIP experience at FETC for these cabinet level leaders. And so, to answer your question, right, get on district administration. Hopefully, you're a subscriber to our print and digital publications. You can definitely go to daleadershipinstitute.org to learn more about our membership model, how you can attend, how you can kick the tires, and really begin to be problem solving with your peers from across the country.
That's a great question. And really what it has to depend on is what's happening with your student body. So we are looking ahead to future careers. So we see CTE and the funding in computer science is really, really important in driving our decisions, but we also need to look at what our students need now. So a lot of them need literacy. We still need to have a focus on engagement and building curiosity and creativity. So we're looking for tools and solutions that do those things, as well as take them into the future. So there's a mixed bag right now, depending on your region. So that's why we have to kind of offer our smorgasbord of topics. But I think that companies are doing a really great job of looking deep into school districts and student bodies and saying, what can we provide you? How can we assist? Like, there's a better partnership woven together. And so I think what you're going to see is those stronger connections are going to be kind of showcased. Like, here's what we're doing in our school district. Here's what works, so that you can learn. Because it's not the same everywhere, because every child is different. But we have tools now. We've been talking about personalized education for a long time. Now we can do it. Now we're really doing it. We've seen things here right now that there's tools out now that can really personalize to every student and really propel education. So it's a really exciting time to be here.
Yeah, well, on the superintendent's side, Jen really nailed it when she said what works. They really want to hone in on what's working. You've kind of sort of been infiltrated with all these amazing tools, and now it's time to see what's sticking, in a meaningful fashion. So that's been huge. I think on the technology side, there's some grave concerns on the cybersecurity issues. We've been hearing on that. I was talking today some concerns with AI and how is that going to work. And,
Absolutely.
We know all the positive things it can help us with, but how is that going to translate? And actually, at the last superintendent summit, AI was a really very basic topic, which was you got to get on this. You got to get in the weeds with this. So that was the latest.
I'll say they can go ahead and register for FETC now. We're in Orlando next January 23rd through 26th. Housing is open, registration is open. We'd love for you to make a plan, bring your team, get excited, and be there with us. We've closed proposals, but we'll be announcing the entire agenda the first week of September. So it'll be open.
Yeah, I think that's the key, right? It's just, I think a lot of times it's helpful to get out of your district and really be problem solving with your peers from across the country who share similar experiences, but it's almost a safe space to talk about what you're doing well, what you're not doing so well, and how we can get better.
But I think to connect everybody, if they go to FETC.org, we send out every Wednesday an FETC weekly newsletter, and then on the Mondays is FETC Tech Leader. So those FETC Tech Leader newsletters that he's talking about are really targeted at our administration. what they're doing. We highlight solutions in districts that are going really well, learning from their peers. So maximize by adding yourself to subscribe to those.